When most of us think of building a railroad, our mind conjures up pictures of big guys with sledgehammers pounding in stakes, and that still happens some. But this industry has gotten much more high-tech. 100 years ago, those who built rail lines from east to west could only dream of what you're looking at right now. This is how the Rick Franklin Corporation builds a railroad today.
They construct them there in more of a controlled environment, and then we load them on flatbed trailers and bring them up here and unload them and place them with this panel boss here.
The Swanson Barkyard in Longview, Washington wants to add a 1-mile S-shaped track to its property, and the company knows exactly who to call.
With this panel boss, it's quite a lot safer than the old way we used to hook cables to the panels to handle them, and then a person would have to get on top of the load to hook the cables, and then you have a panel that swings freely in the air. With this system here, everything's more positive and it's quite a bit safer.
Crews still pull out the old equipment to do some of the finishing touches, but even connecting the rails is faster and easier than it used to be. Pre-building each panel saves the client and the company money.
You don't have to have an entire crew out here in the field where you're paying per diem and motels and things for them.
The process is faster and safer than it used to be, but it still takes skilled workers to make this happen.
Getting them lined up like that, it's hard to get everything that close so they can just bolt it together without having to move it anymore.
Once that 10,000-pound panel is in place, you don't want to have to move it again.
For this project, we're putting down 12 inches of base rock, and then there'll also be 6 inches of open ballast rock between the base and the bottom of ties. And then there's another 7-8 inches of ballast that goes between the ties and on the shoulders. We fill the shoulders out 12 inches beyond the end of ties.
And here's the machine that makes sure the track is secure and in place.
That's a tamper that actually grabs the rail and lifts it, and it works the ballast in compacts the ballast under the ties.
For this project, a 1-mile section of track, plenty of grade work had to be done first. It's not easy building a giant 10.5-degree S-curve. Preparation and planning are the name of the game. Curves, grading, and last-minute changes are always just around the corner.
For the most part, we're trying to follow the picture, but we've had to field engineer quite a bit of it.
Building a railroad is not something most of us think much about. We assume the tracks and trains will be there. But the Rick Franklin Corporation thinks a lot about building and repairing and fixing railroads. It's a company that understands the importance of this industry and is always looking for a safer, better, and more practical way of doing its job.